Good evening, gang stalkers. Welcome back to another episode of Splaesh Digest. Today, it is 10:55 a.m. and we are doing a Halo boss fights tier list. Spent some time today going through a bunch of little browser things from BuzzFeed to FoxNews.com again, and I ended up just choosing this because I'm a little under the weather, and I figured I'd just do something simple that I can talk about for like 10 minutes. So I guess we'll begin. Do I want to start from the left? Yeah, why not? We'll start with I forget his actual name, but this is the Heretic Elite leader from Halo 2. So, on vibes and like voice acting and like supplemental content, this guy is an easy S tier. The thing that brings him down is unfortunately Halo's difficulty system of either being like really, really difficult or way too easy. And so, like, I think I have to put him in C tier. Like, purely because like everything that's pushing him up to C tier is all the external content, like him talking with Guilty Spark in the remaster, all the cut content where like he's a bit more like buddy buddy with the Arbiter, the other supplemental stuff where he's like talk. I forget if this is the terminal or not, but it's like talking about if like the Arbiter would be like if the Arbiter gets sent down, like he definitely wouldn't understand or something along those lines, where he has this idea in his head that like um when the Arbiter shows up, there's no point in talking to him, and that's kind of why he shoots at him. But of course, that is a part of the cut content from what they were originally going to do with stuff like Alpha Moon. So, on the other hand, you have all the actual stuff in that fight where where basically it either ends in like 20 minutes of you dying over and over if you're on like legendary or something, or 2 seconds because he's right in front of you and you can just like sword fly to him. What is this? The Prophet? This has to be the Prophet of Regret, right? You're punching an old man in in a wheelchair. Like that's at least a little bit like that. That's something. That's funny. But he's not really even much of a boss fight. Like, and once again, either way too easy or way too difficult. So I got to put him. I don't know, because he's not really even so much of a boss fight. He's just like a a floating cube you punch essentially, and then everyone else is the boss fight. Like he shoots stuff, sure, but you know, Tartarus. Tartarus is a for Halo 2 standards, it's a cut above, but I might put it in C tier. I really want to put Tartarus in B tier because I love his like performance and like all the scenes with him and shit. But he ends up just being like kind of kind of frustrating to fight again on higher difficulties. Either he's too much of a hassle or is like way too easy. And you have to wait for Johnson to beam rifle him. Of course you can beam rifle him yourself, but I mean, it's not the same as like a proper boss fight. Speaking of proper boss fights, this one goes right up into S tier. The Halo 3 scarabs are immaculate. And I know I use that word all the time for something that is like halfway decent, but the fact that you can like beat the scarab basically however you want, you get a full sandbox at your disposal to destroy those things. Like that's never not going to be fun, even on like legendary where I'm jumping in and dying over and over again just because I'm trying to get something cool done. Like it's still fun, and I'm screwing up not because like the enemies are frustrating around them or anything, or like they're a little unfair, but because I'm screwing up. So yeah, awesome fight there. Guilty Spark. Guilty Spark once again, not even really like I guess he's a boss fight by nature. Um what the story leading up to it, it's really cool. It starts to fall off once you get into the books and you start learning that he makes it after getting Spartan lasered, which isn't cool. And the bot like yeah, the Halo doesn't do boss fights great. And this is why I wanted to do this like tier list here, because the original games, most of them are like passable at best. Um, and I want to see how they kind of fare against the newer ones, which are kind of a bit more fresh in I think everybody's mind. Not mine, because I've done all these boss fights over since I've done all the Infinite ones. But not because I dislike Infinite. I actually like Infinite quite a bit. But I'm rambling here, so let's keep going. The Halo Wars Proto, or not Proto, but like the unfinished Scarab. It might be a Proto Scarab. I don't remember. This is pretty good. It lets you like you have to like build up forces and then go against, like try and take it out. But you're on like a time limit where I think it gets like too powerful or something. There's some kind of, or no, there's like blocks in the way and it slowly like breaks away, like trees and rocks and shit until it can see your base and then it just blasts the fuck out of it. Really cool concept. Um, Noticing a pattern already. The scarabs are very cool, and all like the regular guy enemies it just end up being like regular guys. Uh, the Didact, he's not even a boss fight unless you count like Midnight as a boss, like the entire Midnight level as a boss fight. But no, I think this is like no, I can't put him in F tier because I see the Warden Eternal next. I'll put him in E tier because it's like it's not even really a boss fight. Warden Eternal's F tier because it could have been really cool and they just ruin it over and over again. And then they just make you fight like 50 of them later on. That campaign's not cool. And not like there's nothing redeemable about Warden Eternal other than in like on paper concept, and that's really unfortunate because he could have been really cool as like a Cortana White Knight. That would have been hilarious. What the hell is this? Oh, this is the Halo Wars 2 boss. I forget his name, but he's like the first Halo Wars 2 boss, like Aatrox's right hand. Should put him. He's actually got multiple phases and shit, right? Like from what I remember, I've only dipped my toes into Halo Wars 2. I haven't I haven't actually like played through it or anything. So from what I remember of this boss fight, he's got like multiple phases and he runs away and he comes back. Like it's a proper boss fight. It's pretty cool. The hunters from Halo Wars 2, I will just throw in B tier as well. I don't really have a big memory of them, but if they're anything like the other boss fight that I have played in Halo Wars 2, pretty cool, pretty damn good. An actual boss fight, which is more than you get for most Halo games. Ooh, this is the Proto Gravemind, I believe, or a Proto Gravemind. This is where I was getting that word from earlier. Concept is really cool. This is like Awakening the Nightmare and everything. I gotta go A tier because like yeah, you have like all those really cool cutscenes leading up to it with like the flood breaking out, and then you get to play as the brutes, which is awesome. Like yeah, like top tier Awakening. Well, not top tier. You still have like the first person do whatever you want fight. Oh, here we go. I wish I wasn't sick because I want to do some of these voices for these guys. Ah, oh, I love Tremonius. He's so goofy and he gets beaten up by everybody. Tremonius, you can't go higher than a B tier though. Maybe top a C tier actually. Because at least like this is tough. This is tough. I didn't realize how rough this one would get. Tremonius isn't meant to be like the best character, right? Tremonius was not our greatest fighter, not by any measure. All right. So he's not meant to be like for what he is, like yeah, he's meant to be like the first boss you fight. So he's not meant to be super difficult. He's meant to kind of hype you up and get ready for the game. Yeah, no, like Tremonius isn't bad. Oh, Chaklock and his tower, Master Chief. Chaklock's awesome. We finally get like good elite representation in a 343 Halo game. Is he better than the Awakening the Nightmare? No, but he does have a lot of good lines. His whole build up where he's shit talking you, and then he turns invisible, and it's like this. It's like a build up to a fight we will talk about soon, or it's like a parallel to a fight we'll talk about soon. Um, but very very cool, very funny character. And then of course you get that cutscene after where you see another Spartan as chief for like another living Spartan as chief for one of the first times, or not even one of the first times. For the first time in a while, I guess, because you have like Halo 4 and 5 where you see a bunch of others, but I guess it feels like a long time since these games come out like every 6 years now. Um, but yeah, like it feels a lot more special, like this ending fight or the ending cutscene after Chaklock than any of the other Spartan encounters in a 343 game. So I gotta give it points for that. All fall to Bassus. It is their destiny. Bassus S tier. He's so funny. He just jump scares you and then beats the holy fuckity fuck out of you. It's so good. They just gave him Lucille. He bashes Chief's brains in for like a good couple of checkpoints, and then you figure out how to deal with him. Awesome fight. Just really drop a super powerful enemy 4 feet in front of you. I love it. The monitors. Well, what are they called? Oh no. What are the Halo Infinite monitors called? I'm being a fake fan now. Oh jeez. I don't remember. Apologies. I don't remember the name of these guys. Or well, no, it's the same one twice, right? The first monitor gets ripped in half, and then this guy shows up as like a sub monitor, and then like it's like his big sentinel armor and shit. Like this is a cool fight. I prefer Chaklock's character though to this guy, so that's why he gets the updo. These two, what are they called? These guys should have been, they're D tier. They should have been way more important than they are. Like he's wearing Locke's helmet, and he has like Spartan fingers around his neck. One of these guys. But they show up for like 2 seconds, and then you kill them and they're gone. Like they're not built up at all, really. Other than I think there's a dead Spartan that you walk by, where the weapon's like, oh, it was done by a couple of brutes. They beat the shit out of her. And that's basically all you get, and then they're like hunting down the pilot and you kill them, but they don't get any lines or anything. Like why don't these guys get anything to do? Like they really suffered with, I think, the cuts of Infinite. The Phantom. So is this the Phantom fight on the top of one of the towers? I didn't mind this. It was inoffensive, but it didn't really doesn't really satisfy me for like a boss encounter, right? Like you have all these phantoms show up, you get a bunch of rockets, you blow a bunch of stuff up, but it's not like Halo 3 or even like Reach where you get some of the wreckage or anything that falls. Like when you blow a phantom up in Infinite, it's unfortunate, but you don't really get any of that rubble, which that's not as cool. That's not as cool as games from like 2 decades ago, unfortunately. But it's not a bad boss fight. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's perfectly serviceable for what it is. It's like the bottom of C tier for a reason. This is another S tier fight with Jagger. I don't remember how to say his name. Jagger Odemni, I think, or Jagga. It's either Jagga or Jaeger. This guy's awesome. Like you have that whole cat and mouse section. It's very similar to Chaklock's fight, but like kind of turned up to 11. And you get this guy built up throughout the whole game. Like he has actions. It's a lot like Tartarus, even though he's an elite, where he's doing stuff throughout the game, but you don't really come into contact with him until later on. And his fight's really cool. And based on the book, oh shit, bump my mic. Based on the book summary, what is it called? Edge of Dawn? Yeah, Edge of Dawn. He didn't even die. He cloaks at the end of the fight and he gets out, which is awesome. I can't wait to encounter him in a book again. Because there's no way they're putting him in Halo 7, unfortunately. This video is coming off way more pessimistic than I than I wish. I think it's just because I'm ill, but I do really enjoy Infinite. It's just I don't know. I'm in a bit of a mood right now. Uh, who we have? Oh, who do we have here? Oh my God, I'm so sorry, Esherim. If I wasn't sick, I'd be screaming at the top of my lungs doing your impressions. This guy. This is what like. Not that I wasn't sold on Infinite already, based on it just being like a continuation of the stories and stuff, being a Halo fan already. But as soon as I started getting like those that one scene when what is it, in like the gameplay footage when Halo Infinite had been like revealed in the teaser, and we had like those that quick monologue of Esherim just shit talking the chief. I was already like 10 out of 10 hyped for the game. I love how this guy is like a Ratchet and Clank villain where he just shows up on big screens and absolutely shit talks you. It's so good. Um, I was like screaming his voice lines and like laughing at it the entire like week I was playing the game when it came out. And then every time I've replayed it since with people, like it becomes the best part is Esherim. Every time he shows up, Esherim's like the best part of Infinite. And then his boss fight is fun. Like it's an actual like two-phase boss fight. It's very similar to Tartarus's fight, but I think it's done a lot better. Where you have like the invulnerability stage, and then you have to break that and then do damage to him, and then it opens up again. But it's all controlled by you, and it's kind of telegraphed a lot better. Um, yeah, it's just a all-around like really fun fight, and the build-up of the entire game going through the House of Reckoning and shit, like this is a great fight. And then we have Marathon Head here. What is your name? Not Zalanin, not the Harbinger. Yes, the Harbinger. Oh, I didn't mean that. I'm not a big fan of the Harbinger as a character. Like when they started introducing this whole like Zalanin race and stuff, this is where I start to fall off with Infinite Story, where I'm like, I don't like give me the this established stuff. You don't need to be introducing more characters and try and claim something's worse than the Flood. Like I don't think we should be doing that. I think we should just stick with them. But if they end up making them like precursors or something, and or like descendants of the precursors, like how humans are kind of like descendants of the Forerunners, etc., etc., I think that would be a lot better. But because we don't really know anything about these characters, like the boss fight's fine, but there's not really like a tie there that you're interested in, at least from my perspective. And like you're coming off of an absolutely awesome boss fight with Esherim, and then you're hitting the Harbinger, and like the most memorable thing about the Harbinger fight is that other brute that shows up that was so difficult. I think they gave him a backstory. So I'll put it at the bottom of B tier. It's got really good potential. If they end up like fleshing out the Zalanin and the Endless and shit, and make it like very interesting, this would be it would be a lot better of a fight, because it's like you're almost like opening Pandora's box kind of with this fight. But if it ends up doing what 343 likes to do and kind of skipping ahead, which they're already doing with the book that came out, we might not really get an explanation on those characters, which is like my biggest problem with 343 Halo games, and I guess I should just say Microsoft Halo games, because 343 Halo Studios and Microsoft are all the same thing. Um, they like to start like with a really good idea, and then they kind of don't flesh it out fully, and then deliver that not fully fleshed out thing to the audience. And when the audience inevitably is like, well, that was underwhelming, they go, oh my God, that was the worst thing ever. Let's cut it and get rid of everything that had to do with it. That must be Satan. When really it's like, well, you could do everything that the Microsoft Halo games wanted to do for the most part. I don't think they really should have brought Cortana back, but there are ways of doing that where it's like it makes sense. Like if they actually made it like a fragmented Cortana or something, like not the actual one definitively and shit. They could have made that interesting. Um, Same with the Didact fight and all the Prometheans and stuff. I think they needed a lot more visual feedback and like personality, which they really don't get. But you know, it's what we have, and not every like I don't want to say that any of the like 343 Microsoft games are like worthless, because they're not. They all have like good portions of them and great portions a lot of the time. But as like an overall Halo package, they end up failing a lot of the time, which is unfortunate. But I don't know, for like the remake and stuff, I'm still excited. Uh, I don't know how I turn what should be a 10-minute tier list of like a handful of characters into a 21-minute video now. But yeah, feel free to argue with me and put my head on a stake in the comments. Um, yeah, I can't believe we ended up with a Halo 3 fight and then 3 infinite fights in S tier. Yeah. Peace, peace.
All right, that's it later, ho.